What's up with you guys? It's Gemini 21 Ray, aka Ray the Lamb, and you are visiting me at Universal Chit Chat, BKA Universal Spirit Music 8 Podcast Live, also known as USM 8. Um, this is my actual, like my podcast live, like what I'm doing. I'm, checking up with you guys, just, updating what's really going on my podcast. So I made some little tweaks to it, just a little bit different from what I was doing before as how I was recording my podcast. I decided, like I said, there should be a little bit more reality in it, realism in it. So I was just decided I was gonna relax a little bit more and just kind of talk to you guys, do a little chit chat about what was going on with me um, on my podcast. Also, so I kind of give like a daily update, just about of what's really going on with me. I try to, even if I don't do it every day. I finally was able to get to the part of my podcast that the music, universal, the spiritual part and the music part of my podcast. Because I know, like, some people who might have chose to come and visit my podcast was probably like, what did this got to do with anything spiritual, and what do the spiritual music part? We trying to see what the spiritual music part is. But the spiritual part is like what I'm discussing on my podcast right now is different gifted people, clairvoyant people, psychic people, spiritual people, uh, people who deal with do Reiki. Like it's hard to. I gotta go do that myself. Deal with chakras, clairvoyant gifts, just types of things like that. Dealing with the stars, astrology, zodiacs, and I'm one of them people who's like, well, shoot, I'm a believer. I believe that there are other beings already. Before I found out about star seeds, I believe that there are beings already that are here from other planets. I found out I was an empath about 2017. I found out that I was an empath, and I started trying to get more into depth with it. But then I just started receiving so much more information that I had to learn, and then I had life that was throwing me off my off my rocker. Like it was just, I'm supposed to be on a straight path, but it kept getting knocked off my path. So I decided that this was one of the ways that could help me and help my anxiety. Myself, I'm an empath. I have HSP and I have clear audio. I have clear cognition, clear precognition. I have a few gifts. I have healing gifts. I have telepathic gifts, especially with the animals, but that comes from that clear audience also. Um, Me myself, I'm not really out there in the world with my situation, but I do observe the world and I do feel energies and the vibration. I'm very connected to the universe, even through a window or wherever I might be at. I'm at my home though, so of course this is the podcast, so you can do your podcasting from home. Um, but I'm very in tune, but I'm not out there in the world. Um, but from my place, I have been in how me in my mid 30s. I have learned a lot about the gifts that I do have, but I really was just not enough. It wasn't enough information to help me figure out how to use it and how to go about it. So I did a little bit more research, and then I just kind of gave up and just threw it to the side. And all the stuff that I did learn, other than what my as a messenger, the conversations with God that I have, other than that, um, I haven't I haven't been able to use anything. That's my clairaudient. Like that gift is not even controlled by me here talking to God. That is something that He got going on his own. But I couldn't tell if someone joined or not. But I personally um, did not know how to work anything else. Like I knew I healed a kitten one day, and I'm like, how did I do that? So I healed a couple people all at the same time, and I'm like, did I do that? But I knew I did it because afterwards, some things you got to be careful with. I ended up getting sick, but as an empath, I'm an empath. I have HSP. I'm a light worker. And I am a star seed. It's just finding out which star seed I am, which is the process of what I'm doing right now on my podcast is playing a lot of documentaries and information about star seeds. Then I'll backtrack and go back to HSP and empathy, light workers, empath, and HSP. That's where I'm gonna go back. Those are the last three that I'm gonna do. HSP and maybe ESP. I'm going backwards. But right now we're on the conversation of star seeds on my podcast or whatever. So I'm trying to just relax a little bit, get more into my podcast personality. I'm looking for the support, but not everybody supports me. Some people don't support me because they don't really agree with what I'm saying. But once again, I say this is just free opinion, free thought, free freedom of speech. And you are freedom of belief of whatever you want to believe in. I want to know about everything that's under the stars and the moons and the sun. Everything that's around us, surrounding us. I want to know about the universe. And like I said, I'll probably do repeat podcasts over again, but they won't be exactly the same, just about the same subject. And that's how you learn, is by going over these things more than once. Also, one of these days, I'm going to jump in there, and I think that I'm going to start throwing out a word. Like today, I'm going to start throwing out a word. Like right now, let's go get this word. Let's go get this word, and I'm gonna use it today as much as possible, even if I'm just saying the word. But I'll be sitting here doing some trying to learn Hebrew. So maybe if I do it with you guys, then it'll stick more also. So let's just go find this Hebrew app that I love. This Hebrew app. Here it is, right in front of my face. But the first, I don't even have to go to it. Matter of fact, the first, um, the first word that I want y'all guys to learn with me, and some people might already know it, is Ephes. EFES. Ephes. Ephes is zero, flat out. Okay, Ephes is zero. So, um, I'm going to try to use it if I say the word zero, but I might forget. But I might not. So let's not look on the negative side of things. Um, I might not forget. But let's see. Right now, I feel like I got a little support. A couple people like my page, and it's better than Ephes. It's better than having Ephes amount of people on my page. So zero amount of people on my page. Like right now, there is Ephes amount of people watching my podcast. But that's fine because the more people like it, the more people are going to try to come see it. I'm going to start advertising it more. I'm not really trying to advertise it because I'm scared and I got anxiety and I don't want people laughing at me. But in all reality, it's cool if people laugh at me because it might be something funny and that might get me somewhere too. But I just want to relate. I want to put something out here that people can relate to for people who don't really know, especially people from where I come from, in the areas that I come from. A lot of people don't know about these things and they don't get a chance to find out these things because they have been stuck in this particular type of lifestyle because of what the area provides, what the area that they're in, the environment offers. The environment don't really offer a lot, especially in not things like this, you get your basics. You go to the library, and if you don't go to the library and find it on your own, you're probably not gonna run into anything like this. Or if you don't just have to, and it's very seldom that you run across a ad on Facebook or Instagram or anything like that that has something to do with empath psychics or clairvoyance or anything like that. Not even a star seed. Now, if you are into that type of thing and you Google it or you search it on YouTube, your browser and everything, your internet, it'll remember it. So it'll remember exactly the type of thing that you're interested in, and it'll continue to play some of those things you're interested in, like classifieds, like classified little, what do you call those, pop-ups, little pop-ups, pop-up advertisements for things that you have clicked on before. That's what it is. But right now, if you can hear in the background, I was sitting here listening to this binaural beat, which is super intelligence, 14 hertz binaural beats, beta waves music for focus, memory, and concentration, which is what I needed right now, is focus, memory, and concentration. So I've been updating my live podcast live on my USM8 page. um, well, not the USM8. I got to start on the USM8 page for the live, but I'm not going to be doing nothing on there but to be directing people to the Universal Spirit Music 8 page. Um, but it's kind of like it's my people, it's very all my fam and friends and associates and stuff have to go through this. Have to go through my USM8 page first, just to even see, just like getting permission. Are you interested in this? Can you have to reach out yourself? I'll share it with you. This is what I'm interested in. This is what I'm doing. And if you like it, you could go ahead and look more into it. Like I had, shoot, my cousin, she got on there and she was like, um, I'm interested. So I'm posting more things about it so that she can research it. She probably is researching it herself. But like I say, just show a little bit of support by listening to the podcast. That is how you back your people up. Is you like my fam is doing something, and when I get a chance, I'm a invest in what they're doing a little bit of money. Like I'm gonna be I'm be a customer, so I can say I'm supporting, and then I'll shop it around. Even on my podcast, I will. But they're not ready for all of that. Just like how I don't be ready for all of something, they're not ready for all of that. I'm personally not ready for everybody to start just viewing me, because then I might go into a anxiety attack and psychosis type of stage of shock, because I am like I'm have anxiety, social anxiety. So that's a lot of people. I might go blank when somebody's like, if even on here, if somebody was to jump on here right now, I might go blank and be like, oh, you caught me off guard. Now I don't know what I was talking about. But that's the reason I'm doing this also, is to face my fears. And even though I used to be a rapper, my fears are still being judged in front of a whole group of people. I don't want to go through being judged in front of a whole bunch of people. The reason I'm still like talking about myself is because that's another part of my podcast. This is like a documentary, blog, journal, podcast, live, biography, whatever you want to call it, a book. And I'm doing it in this way. I remember a couple years ago, I was real drawn to Where's Waldo? Where's Waldo? And I used to say people because I used to be the person that did nobody like my pictures, did nobody like comment or did nothing. It didn't matter how long I had that page. I just started getting likes and comments. Um, but I used to put up this little post of Where's Waldo? Like, can you find Where's Waldo? That's what I compared it to. That's like the spirit of Jesus. What can you identify him? and I'll just put it in a religious context with the pictures or whatever, or no, with the what is it that you call it? Uh, Edited my text in my text, what I had up under there highlighted, but then I did this by accident because I'm like, if I was gone, would you miss me? If I was this, would you miss me? Because you think of me. If you looked at a bird that just look like, if you see a butterfly, think about me every time the wind blows. Think of me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not being selfish because that's what it did sound like. But that was like a poem. Think of me because people really wasn't thinking of me and they wasn't remembering me and they weren't even acting like I was alive or anything like that. So that's why I put that "Where's Waldo" up. Would you come looking for me if I was lost, if I was ever to disappear? Would you come find me? Would you remember me? So, anyways, Where's Waldo had to do with both of them. So I feel like I'm Where's Waldoing right now. It's because I have so many different pieces of my podcast out there in different ways and in different areas. And one link leads you to this and another link leads you to this. And when you get there, it ain't even all the same information or done the same exact way. This is how my brain works randomly. It does not work in an organized fashion too much no more. I mean, I can get it to, but for real, I'm just be all over the place. So that's why my podcast is all over the place. But you can actually find your way to my page, and then you'll get me. You're gonna get all raw Ray, and you're gonna see that you're gonna be like, man, this girl do not never update her blog. I'm gonna start updating my blog. You can also go to my Facebook page. When we get to my Facebook page, you can make an appointment. Make an appointment. I'll get it, and I might not get it right away. You can schedule or contact me to make an appointment. And the appointment, what it's for, is right now. I'm not doing no. I'm not selling anything and I'm not charging for anything. But the appointment is just to be on the podcast, talk to me. If you want the recording to be on the podcast with the conversation that we're having, if you want to be anonymous, all this other stuff. But there's a line you can call for that, or you can also always join it live. It's different ways to do all of this. um, Hopefully people can catch me and find me somewhere when I'm having a live if they got the alert on, and then join into the live. Um, that's basically it. Shoot, I just got to get everything in order. But once again, I'm always under construction, and y'all guys see me under construction. Y'all guys see me in the process of putting this podcast together, and then you kind of see like, wow, this girl brain may work way differently than the next person's, or some people might be like, oh, this girl is dumb, she's just stupid. Well, that's fine with me. I hope everybody enjoys they life and they gifts and whatever else is going for them. If it's a lot, if not, I hope more is going on for people. But thanks for the support. Thanks for stopping by to try to listen. You don't have to stay if you don't want to, but I appreciate if you do stay. Once again, contact me. Call that number 614-881-0521. When you call that number, I answer, and me answering the phone is private. Um, but you can talk to me, and then while we're on the phone, you can let me know if you want to do a podcast at that moment, if you want to join a podcast, schedule a time to do a podcast. We can do all of that. I will be advertising my my bug spray, y'all. It's called Raids. It's called Raids, okay. um I might adjust that name a little bit though, because you never know. But anyways, raise, and if you got any pest problems or whatnot, please let me know. I have a formula that works miracles, and I'm talking about it works like overnight. but to clear, just to make sure you see no return or no remnants, 3 days tops, I say. And that's what I'm gonna be starting advertising. So that's just a heads up of something that I have going on, but it's not on my page yet. So you cannot purchase it yet. You and but when you can, I will definitely let you know. You will see that it's open on my page. But right now, it's not open. You can see that I'm away because I'm not um really there right now. I'm not open for calls or answers. When you see away on my page, I'm not open for calls or answers. As soon as you see me say I'm open, then you can let those calls get the flow in. Okay, I'm gonna take my time and I'm gonna introduce myself to um my previous Facebook friends, but I want to take my time because a lot of people are not right upstairs in the head, and they'll come and view your page, your podcast, anything um for a negative reason. They might just want to report you or just you to stop doing what you're doing. So I got to be careful who I share my podcast with. But right now it's just nothing but associates, family, and friends. The direct, okay. So once again, this is Universal Spirit Music 8 live podcast. And this is Gemini 21 checking out. I hope my little convo was cool for you. And I need to go update a few other places too. So I'll be back to let you know what's going on and maybe to give you some information about those topics I was talking about. All right. Yeah. Actually, you can go and look in the playlist, and I'm going to place them in there. So you can go and read about or listen to some videos also that I have selected. Hopefully, I find the same ones. It'll be the same ones that I already have. But if not, that's okay. I will find information and place it in the podcast playlist, which you will see, and then you can go find it there. All right. So Gemini 21 Ray out.